What is going on, Rock fam? It's your boy Rock Soldier coming to you guys with another YouTube video, another Rogue Company video, man. Today we're going to be making a tier list of the best competitive maps in Rogue Company. I'm excited to check this one out with you guys, give you guys my thoughts and my opinions as to where I'm coming from with these. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like, hit that sub button, hit that bell to know when I'm dropping the next one. I'm not going to keep you guys here too much longer. I appreciate you guys tuning in for this one. Let's get it. Alright, so right now there are currently 8 maps in the competitive Rogue Company setup right now. We got Canals, Factory, Favelas, High Castle, Lockdown, Skyfell, Vice, and Windward. Alright, we're just going to start off from the beginning here, and we're just going to go in a row and put them where we think they go. Now, honestly, Canals I'm going to give an S tier, right? I think this is going to be the only one because the playability on Canals is so good. There's so many different plays and how creative you can be going to B, going through mid, going to A site, and I don't think it's really restricted to any singular rogue comp. Like I don't think there's a single rogue that you absolutely need on that map to win and have success there. I think it's very versatile. I like the setup, and I think overall it's probably one of the best and most solid maps they have in the game. Factory is a good one, but the meta on Factory has changed a little bit, right? Old Factory was a lot of fun, but recently with the arbitrator meta, sometimes you get double arbitrators between Anvil and Scorch, and let's just be honest, man, that's not a lot of fun to play against, man, because it's not hard to kill somebody with that gun. One arbitrator I can deal with, but when you pull out 2, it starts getting pretty annoying and pretty not so fun to play. There is a lot of rotation ability there on this map, you know, going through highway and whatnot, but I think, you know, it can just be this like stupid fake rotation game where teams on offense just kind of run back and forth trying to bait the team to commit to one specific site while they just run back and forth on highway the whole time, and then, you know, 30 seconds comes down and they finally make a play. So, you know, for those reasons, I'm going to give it a B because I do think the map is fun. I don't like the current metas with the arbitrator. Maybe that'll change with the new update that's coming out. But I'm going to give it a B for now. Favelas. Now, I'll be honest, guys. I'm not the biggest fan of this map. Rotations between sites are easy. Mid control is not a huge, you know, a huge factor on this map. It's not even much of a mid anyways. You know, basically jump down from the tree and you're basically just popping a squat right on A site right there. It takes 2 seconds. But I do feel like it's a little more restricted, you know, in terms of like what kind of rogues you need. Like I feel like a Vi is a pretty much must. I think I'm gonna give this a C tier because like most of the time you don't even get a lot of gameplay over by the Panther on A side. You know, I feel like a lot of times B, the teams just set up for B and then they'll make the call to rotate to A when needed. So, you know, for those reasons, I'm gonna give it a C. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of the map. That's just my personal opinion on it. High Castle, I really enjoy High Castle. I really do. I think it's a great map. Personally, I have a lot of fun playing on it. But the setup of High Castle is kind of weird because it's almost easy to defend A, I would say. Right? It's definitely defensive favored. Kind of like Favelas is. Favelas is defensive favored. But there's a little more you can do here. Like you can get creative with how you do stuff on offense. You know, send one sneaky to A, get the bomb plant, everyone rotate back, or you know, there's a couple times you can just all send A and catch them off guard. If you know you hit them B a few times, you can run through the mid and do a couple plays there. But overall, I think the way A is set up with the long staircase and the long zip line, that kind of does eliminate the creativity a little bit, or at least restrict it a little bit into you know, how creative and what kind of plays you can make on the map. So for that reason, I'm gonna give it a B tier. I think Factory is a little better, but you know, I still have a lot of fun playing High Castle. Lockdown can be fun, but right now it's not good in my opinion. It's too big. It can be easily ran by a strong Phantom. I mean, Fixer's currently G8 or banned in most competitive areas right now in Rogue Company. That's why I really only say Phantom. Yeah, I mean, with a good Phantom, man, she can basically just control the whole midpoint almost all the way over to the A site from their side, on offense or defense. You know, either one. You don't see too many Phantoms go on defense, so I feel like not as much anymore. And then as for inside B site, it's really just like a utility fuckfest, man. I mean, it's a lot of reason why people stop playing Icarus is because the A site is just such a fuckfest for utility, just dumping utilities left and right. And At that point, it kind of makes it a 50-50. But I will say Lockdown is the one map I think kind of favors offense. Maybe not the one map, but, you know, I think it is one of the maps that kind of favor offense. Whereas, you know, in a lot of games like this, you got a lot of maps that favor defense. But I think, you know, there's definitely, if you can execute it right and get good communication and chemistry with your team, coordinated offensive plays on this map can work really well. So, you know, I'm gonna give it a D though, because you know, ultimately I think the map's too big. The mid control at the end of the day is not the make or break all, but it can be big. You know, you get somebody shooting on B site through mid door, it can be a real pain in the ass unless you guys are just flying like the Flash, man. I'm gonna give it D tier. I think right now it's probably the worst competitive map in the game. Skyfell. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of Skyfell, guys. Most of you guys know, who follow me or watch me play competitive Road Company. No, I'm not the biggest fan of this map. I think it's very defensive favored. In my time playing competitive, though, I have come to realize that, you know, obviously, you know, good coordination and team chemistry and teamwork can make offense a little easier and a little more bearable. And you can get a little creative with it. You know, you pull out a Lancer, you can get creative with it. There's a lot of openings to do, lots of flanks. And I do like the playability through mid there. The mid statue's interesting because the defense still ultimately usually has first chance to get to the mid. So I would say, Skyfell. I'm gonna give it a C tier, but I'm gonna give it better than Favelas. I think it is. I think it is better than Favelas. I really do. As for the B site, it is kind of like another one of those utility fuckfest. Whether it's on B site or it's in the car room behind there. Same thing with A too. They're both really small sites where it's very easy to just bank a bunch of fucking utilities, throw incense, throw the vibe pools, get your mollies out, get the flashbangs going. You know, so I would say, you know, for that reason, I'm gonna bring it down a little bit to the C tier, and that's why I'm putting it there. Is just because both sites are a little bit of utility fuckfest, where mid control is not that important. I mean, you plant B, you can just take control of car. Who gives a fuck if they have mid? On A site, you can just take control of top A up there, and you know, you don't need anybody watching Aqua or their window. If you hold it right, you can play those perfectly fine without needing mid control. So yeah, for the reason, I'm gonna give it a C tier. Vice is a really fun map. When this map came out, I wasn't too sure about it, but then they made some changes, right? When they made the changes and they took down the second jump wall on mid by B side, and they added the zip line from the offensive spawn to A side there by the pillar. I think those were really good changes and made the map a lot more open and a lot more creative to play. I think I'm gonna go A tier. There's a lot of play options to do here, and again, I think it's one of those maps that you aren't limited to a certain set of rogues, right? Like on Factory, you're pretty much gonna see a Scorch and you're pretty much gonna see an Anvil on defense every single time, pretty much. You know, they may not be using arbitrators, both of them, but pretty much at the end of the day, you're gonna see those two rogues. On Vice, not so much. I mean, like, you know, a lot of maps you see, like a lot of people have Vi. Like Vi is probably one of the best rogues in the game to use across any map. Her utility is just out of this world, and if you use it right, it is very good. But for Vice, I actually feel like it's the one map that you're actually not limited to a Vi, or you know, you don't need a certain rogue comp, right? You can pull out a Lancer and a Dallas. You can pull out a Ronin, but you know, there's a lot of playmaking abilities, man. You can pull out a bunch of characters with smokes, and that just gives you so much playability. Hit someone through speakers, go through the mid to B, or go through the mid to A, go down B street. There's just a lot of playability on this map, and for that reason, I'm gonna give it an A. Windward being the last one here. I think Windward's another one of those really fun maps, and I do feel like with Windward, there's not as much of a specific rogue composition that you need, but with that being said, I do think there are some rogues that you'll consistently see, right? Like the current meta is like you'll pretty much always see a Dallas on Windward, and a lot of times, sometimes you get good Dallases. I like to play Dallas on defense, and kind of like this new meta lately where Dallas is going the flank, which is actually really good with his padded steps and his ability, man. Can find somebody just ratting watching the flank, and then, you know, if you got somebody who's got the gunny, you know, you're gonna pick up the flank most of the time. And I will say there's a lot of playmaking ability here. There's a lot of creativity to this map. You know, once again, you can get some good smoke plays down. You can smoke off the mid, push one of the sites. You guys can hit the zip and play off aggro there from bananas and cannons over on A. I would not recommend hitting the zip over on B, but sometimes it works if they're just giving it up. Yeah, and you know, I'd say the map's, you know, pretty good because you can plant for either side on both bomb sites. Both bomb sites aren't really much of a utility dump. because they're kind of open-ended. And I would say for those reasons, I'm gonna give it A tier. I think the playmaking ability there is really good. I like the lanes, I like the setup. It's one of those more original maps, kind of up there with Canals. But yeah, man, I enjoy playing it. I think it's a good competitive map. So right now we got Canals being the best map in the game for competitive, and I stick by that. I think the playmaking ability on Canals is unlike any other. I think Vice is very close, but I don't think it's quite there. I'm not sure why. I can't quite put my finger on it. I think it may just be because of that lack of need for a certain rogue on Canals, right? Like, you don't need a Lancer, but a Lancer on Canals would work very well. It's a great map for Lancer, actually, but you don't need one, right? My team doesn't play with a Lancer usually on that map, and you know, we've seen lots of success on that map. Same thing kind of with Vice, but you know, having a Lancer on that map obviously would be a big difference maker. So I mean, for these reasons, this is where I'm going with these. Let me know what you guys think of this tier list, man. Let me know if you guys agree with me or disagree. You know, at the end of the day, they're just opinions, and you know, I think I have a solid set here. I don't think Lockdown is a good map right now. You know, at the end of the day, all the maps they've added after the original maps have all been these big maps with lots of openness to them. Usually, you know, Glacier, High Castle, Lockdown, the new map Hollows coming out. They're all really big, and that's something I would like to see later in changes, man. I would like to see them come back to some more medium, mid-sized maps, or even a couple close range maps, man. I would love like a new Icarus that's not as much of a utility dump, but that's a little smaller, so the action's like a little more there. You know, Factory I think is a pretty good example of that. Just currently with the arbitrator meta, it's kind of, yeah, yeah. So, but overall, man, you know, if you guys agree, let me know in the comments, man. If you guys think some things should be changed, let me know, man. Let me know what you guys would change here in your own tier list, or if you guys think I nailed it right on the head, man. Let me know. I appreciate you guys taking time to check out this video, man. And that's all I got for you guys for now. It's your boy Rock Soldier. Hope you guys have a great rest of the night. Better even better tomorrow. Talk to you guys in the next one. All right, guys. Peace.